Welcome back everyone, it's Vaz again with another video from World of Warships Legends. And in today's video we are playing Ranked. We also have some gameplay tips and tricks for you when you're playing Ranked, but these tips can also be used in general play as well. Now these tips can apply for this season of Ranked as well as other seasons. We're going to do a tip guide today because we've already discussed our thoughts and feelings about this season's Ranked. And I think we've harped on it long enough, so let's use the rest of our time to make the best of Ranked. As for this specific game, we are in the Gaede and we are on this straight map. When I first started playing Ranked, I was using the Dunkirk. After a while, I decided to switch to the Gaede because I was really tired of my friendly destroyer not doing his job properly, which also served as the inspiration for this particular video. So what we're going to do is go through each class of ship and give you some tips for each of them. And once we've gone over some tips, we'll do a little breakdown of this doozy of a match. So I suppose first we'll start with battleships. You first want to stay angled to your opponents, and you actually want to attract the damage from the enemy team. You don't want the enemies shooting at your cruisers or your destroyers. You have a lot of hit points, so why not use them? You do want to find an island and get close to it, but you don't want to be behind it exactly. You want the enemy to target you and take ill-advised shots at you that won't do a lot of damage. So again, stay angled, stay close to an island so you can avoid a crossfire, and don't waste your shots on battleships, they'll take longer to kill. You want to take the weaker ships off the board first and decrease the enemy's DPM. So always keep an eye on your friendly destroyer. If he does spot the enemy destroyer, you want to focus all of your shots against him. Next, if you do see cruisers, take shots at them. Then finally, if you have nothing else to shoot at, then you can shoot at battleships. Now as for cruisers, you do want to find cover and focus on your DD. Be ready to support him if he runs into the enemy destroyer. Once the enemy destroyer has been dealt with or you don't see him, then you can focus on cruisers. On vertical maps such as this one, you can help out by going for the nearest cap on your way to find cover behind an island. But if you happen to be on a horizontal map and you see your destroyer going for the middle cap, feel free to take a different cap to help your team gain a point advantage. These points may be valuable at the end of the game. On your way to that other cap, still keep in mind that you do need to support your friendly destroyer. One thing that I personally used to do is have AP loaded right off the bat, just in case an enemy cruiser got too close and showed his broadside. That way I'd be able to punish him right off the bat. But if I didn't see any, then I would definitely have HE loaded because I wanted to be ready for when the enemy destroyer would pop up. Well, now we'll finally end with tips for destroyers. You want to go for the nearest cap unless you see that a friendly cruiser will get there within a reasonable amount of time. Now that mostly goes for vertical and double cap maps. After getting that initial cap, you're going to want to go for the next one. If you're on a horizontal map, you most likely will need to contest the middle cap against the enemy destroyer. Save your torpedoes until you see him, or if you have piston track, use it to find his position and then launch your torpedoes. You want to turn around and face away from the cap to avoid getting torped yourself. This also helps if you have a cruiser or a battleship pushing you and you need to get away fast. Now I like to give credit where credit is due, and that little maneuver is something I learned from Captain Saxman. So shout out to him and his YouTube channel now called Captain Sax. He's the rootinest tootinest destroyer captain around. And in English that means he knows his stuff, so go ahead and check him out. Once you've gotten control of two caps, you next want to spot for your team. No torping runs. Throw torps from a distance if you can, but it's most important to have eyes on the enemy for your team. There are also some things that all ships should not do. Do not sail the long way around a map. You're not accomplishing anything and there's no time to waste when there's only 5 ships per side. Also, don't push forward into open water. Do it near cover so you're not caught in a crossfire. No matter what ship you're using, do not go on torping runs. This isn't the game mode to throw your ship away. And finally, don't hang around in the back taking low percentage shots. Get closer to improve your chances of actually hitting something. Now that concludes some of my introductory tips for having success in Ranked. Now of course there are other tips out there, but those are the ones that I believe will lead to your team having the most success. And now that that's out of the way, we'll do some commentary on this Gaede match. On the enemy team, we have a Fubuki, Dallas, Fuso, PE Frederick, and a California to deal with. Now at the beginning of the match, you saw me take the closest cap and then proceed to the middle cap. On my way in, I did barely just miss some torps. I forgot to put my hydro on, but luckily we avoided all of them. And then you saw me getting into position. We were using our twist and track to find the position of the enemy destroyer. He did show up briefly on our screen and popped his smoke. We remained undetected, luckily. I did have a double concealment build in this game, I believe, using Swarsky in addition to Bay. And we did launch some torps at the Fubuki, and we noticed he was backing up, so we launched some behind him, hoping that we get him. We asked our teammates to help focus on him, and guess what? Our teammates helped us out there. And in addition to our torp hit, we eliminated the Fubuki, a good team effort. Unfortunately, one of our friendly cruisers has gone down, so we are even in ships, but we have eliminated the enemy destroyer, which gives us a distinct advantage. So now that the enemy destroyer has been eliminated, we finished capping the Bravo objective, and now our team controls both Alpha and Bravo, giving us an additional advantage. So there are two things at play here. One, I want to keep spawning for my team. The enemy destroyer smokescreen was making that difficult, so I wanted to get around it so I could spot all the enemy ships. And at the same time, I wasn't sure which target to pick. I thought maybe if I spread out my torpedoes, put one on each battleship, I might be able to get some solid hits on the both of them. The second thing at play is that I want to get that Charlie objective as well for my team. Now, we were able to get some torp hits on both the California and the Fuso, which was probably not the best idea. I probably should have concentrated my torpedoes onto one particular ship to try and remove it from the match. But we are within gun range of the enemy California, and so what I want to do is start a fire on him since I know he's used his damage con for my torpedoes. So I pop my smoke and I start firing away. He was in the cap anyways, so I wouldn't be able to cap it quite yet, and I think if I got too close, he might have detected me, or the plane that he's gonna launch pretty soon here would have detected me. And now I see I'm actually still in range of the Fuso, and so since my smoke hasn't run out yet, I might as well take some shots at him too. Now, whether this was the correct play or not, I'm not sure. Maybe I should have gone straight for the Charlie objective first. But either way, we didn't waste too much time on it. We've also lost one of our friendly battleships. And we see the biggest threat to us, the Dallas, come out from between those islands. We do want to try and eliminate him if at all possible. The damn plane of the frickin' California is still spotting me. The AA on this Gaede is absolutely horrendous. I don't think I've ever shot down a plane with it. Maybe one. Alright, now that we've caught up with our recap, we can do the rest of the commentary in sync. Unfortunately, none of our torpedoes hit, but we are almost done capping the Charlie objective, which makes up for the fact that their entire team has gathered in the Bravo objective. Quite an interesting tactic by them. A very strange situation now where I am between the enemies and my own teammates. And now this is the point in the match where the enemy starts to take over. And then eventually it comes all down to me. So it's 1 versus 3. The enemy has the advantage in points, although we do have 2 caps. I do launch some torpedoes at the Fuso, and because I don't want him to know that torpedoes are coming, I stay out of the cap until I know it's going to be too late to dodge them. And I use that time to get myself situated so that my stern is pointing towards them. That way, if that Dallas or the other ships decide to double back, I'll be ready to evacuate. And now I've backed into the Bravo objective, so that at least their points won't be able to accrue. At the same time, they're getting the Alpha objective, so the points are going back and forth here. We do have Charlie objective outright, so we are getting points for our side. And I see that the Fuso is just on life support there, and I'm just dying to get rid of him. If I can eliminate one of these enemy ships, I'm going to be in good shape. So what I did was I took a few shots at him and popped my smoke, hoping to get a fire started. Unfortunately, my plans did not work. But at the same time, the P. Frederick, he starts shooting his guns into the smoke wildly, which causes him to be detected, which gives me a chance to set a fire on him. Unfortunately, he is able to put it out in time, and so he's still alive but on life support. I can see on my twist and track that there's someone behind the island beside me there, so I fear that the Dallas is making a push against me. He also doesn't have much health left, and I'm just itching to start shooting at somebody. My goodness, I feel like one shot on all of them would get rid of them. But it's one thing in ranked, you do need to be very patient. You cannot take risks, especially when it's only 5 ships per side. Now all the ships are pushing towards me here, so I do need to retreat. There's still quite a lot of time left in the match, so again, I do need to be patient. Now that they have 2 caps, all they have to do is wait out the rest of the game, and they'll probably win on points. I do get a volley of torpedoes off there, hoping that I'll be able to get either the Fuso or the Frederick. Being able to sink one of them would guarantee my victory for sure. Now, whether it be a stroke of luck or just a mistake on the part of the enemy, they probably should have stayed back. But we were able to get a torped on the Fuso, which gives us a big point swing. And now all we have to do is sail away from them onto victory.
That's how it's done.
So very intense match at the end there, and a lesson in patience. If the enemy would have just capped B and actually turned around and ran, they might have won the game. But because they charged at me, I was able to get my torpedoes on them and kill one of them, winning the game for my team. So in that Gaede game, we ended up with 71,000 in damage, 7 torpedo hits, and the high caliber medal. And we are top of the leaderboard on our team with over 3,000 XP, 10 times more than the Warspite B on our team. Well, that does it for this video. If you did like it, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more of my videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And as always, stay healthy and do what makes you happy. Ooh, that was a good one.